Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Do More podcast. Very excited to be interviewing one of my favorite people at the foundation today, Khumalo. He is, I wanted to call him our creative person, but he decided that senior creative was the better designation for him. So we have a very exciting conversation today around our communications at the foundation, looking at how we've been building our brand, some awesome collaborative tools that we've been working with, as well as where to from here, and some really big lessons in the communications and marketing space over the last year. But before we get started, Spool, I would love for our audience to get to know the amazing human being that you are. Can you tell us what you do at the foundation and how long you've been with us and how you came about to work with us?
Hello, everyone. My name is Spool, as Cara has mentioned. I'm the senior creative person. As a profession, I'm a graphic designer by profession. My role is to design and work on visuals to communicate better or effectively with the comms department. And I've been with the foundation for 2 years now.
Yeah.
But I've been a graphic designer for over 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, I'm also an illustrator, of which it makes it easy to execute ideas, share ideas to production as well. Yeah. I think that's all I can say for now. Yeah.
So we always need to start off with a very playful question, right? And you don't know this question, so we're going to wait until the end to find out what your answer is. The question is, if you had to invent a gadget to work, to bring to the workplace, what would it do and why? You've worked, like you say, 20 years in this creative space, moving very much from a corporate agency side straight into a non-profit, so at the Do More Foundation. Yeah. How did you discover us? So how did you come to work with us? And how has the transition been for you from corporate to in-house non-profit?
Okay, this is how it went. In fact, I was in corporate for a very long time. Then I decided to do my own thing. I was freelancing. I had my own agency, and Cara came in with Ian to ask if I can do some illustrations for them, because he told them that I can do some amazing illustration. I think that was like more than 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So I've worked with the foundation for so many years before I joined them, and the transition from corporate to a non-profit, I think it wasn't that difficult for me, because I've managed to get so many skills from the corporate, of which it was beneficiary for the foundation. It also benefits me to communicate easily, the ideas, and effectively, using graphic design skills and illustration.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of similarities between the corporate and non-profit sector in terms of communications and design. Yeah. But it does add a different sense of purpose, doesn't it? When you're doing it for a cause versus for profit. Yeah. I've seen you blossom in that role with a lot more purpose behind the illustrations and designs. But I've always wondered, you rock up to work every single day and your job is to be creative. Yeah. Every single day, no matter what mood you're in or how tired you are, you have to get up, you have to design, you have to illustrate. That's kind of the role. How do you keep the creative juices flowing in the communication space and within your role?
Yeah, all I can tell you is that curiosity plays a big role. Like being curious, it makes you look for answers, and you ask a lot of questions. But also the experience counts as well. And out of all these things that I've listed, passion is number one. It gives me passion.
Oh, passion.
Yeah, passion. Yes. I'm very passionate about design. I'm very passionate about illustration. I'm very passionate about communicating. Obviously I use visuals and text to communicate. That's my role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
We've also had a little bit of energy injected into our foundation over the past few months. We took on some students from Vega after they presented some very impressive work to us through the Vega brand challenge. So we've had Georgia and Mary working with us. Spoo has been their leader and showing them all the tricks of the trade. Can you talk to us a little bit about, how you have found leading the volunteers? And the influence that they've had on our organization?
I think for us as a communication to grow in our space, especially in the comms department, we need to bring young people into our team because they are very smart, as much as they are young, but they're very smart and they think differently, But also they help us to think outside the box because they are not afraid to ask questions and ask you why. You give them the answer, but they ask you again why, So they keep us on our toes.
They do. They're an amazing energy, especially in the social media space and learning more about TikTok. I mean, we're definitely not the most knowledgeable in all spaces. We really love to play in our communications department and experiment with a whole lot of things. So I think they've taught us a hell of a lot in terms of social media, and we're keen to see how that goes going forward. I'd also like us to reflect on a really exciting communications campaign that we ran last year, 2023, called the BaBonise campaign. So every year we partner with Salati Cup. It's an incredible soccer tournament that happens in Nkomazi in one of our project areas. And this year we decided we were going to do something a little bit different and bring in more advocacy to the soccer cup. So we decided that we're going to create this advocacy campaign all around the role of men in the lives of young children, with young men being our biggest audience right there in front of us, with about 1,200, 300 players right at our disposal. So we put together pledges and we had an incredible support from them. But communications on the ground in more rural communities versus in the business world is very different. So I think we learned a few lessons around how we could improve communication campaigns in rural communities on the ground. Do you want to chat through maybe some things that we might change?
Speaking about that campaign, I think we didn't do badly, but I think we needed to be more prepared earlier. We were relying on our partner audience that we were going to tap on, but only to find on the last minute that we couldn't use their Facebook, and they had quite a lot of audience there. So for me, the lesson is that I think we need to be not necessarily rely on a partner to communicate our ideas. We need to be well prepared earlier. I don't know if it makes sense.
Start earlier, absolutely.
Start earlier, but also experience counts. And it was the first time doing a campaign like that in the foundation. Hopefully this year it will be so much better because we had a lot to learn from that campaign. That's my take.
Definitely in terms of advocacy. Something that we do really well in the foundation, and that's across all spaces, is collaboration. We work as a team. We ride or die as a team, which is what I love about us. I'd like to chat through some really awesome, I don't know would you call them apps? No, tools. Let's call them communication tools that we use, specifically looking at tools like Canva, which I know is kind of like a swear word in the design world because Illustrator and is definitely your go-to. But we have found in the communication space that for a designer of Spoo's caliber, for him to go into a design tool such as Canva and go and create templates for the entire team, it actually serves the team a lot better, right? Where people can just come in and they make their own edits, download. What did you call that?
Drag and drop.
Drag and drop, exactly. So that's, I think, it is an awesome tool that has helped in collaboration with our team. What other tools do you think has worked really well for our comms team? Asana.
Where everyone can see what everyone is doing. It easily manages the traffic that goes to the comms department. It's such a valuable tool to keep and grow to other teams as well.
Yes.
I will advise other teams to use it as well.
Yes,
But also Adobe Suite of it.
Yes.
Well, at the moment, I'm the only one who's using it, but like it's not limiting, especially for the skills that I possess. I can easily illustrate, I can easily do animation. With the young girls coming on board, the Vega students, we're gonna grow our skill set. I think we're gonna have more animation this year, of which is gonna make our communication even more effective as well.
Yes.
I
love that you brought up animations, because it's one of the trends that we really are seeing come up, that along with more authentic posts where we really are showing the work that we do on the ground. How do you stay inspired in this role and up to date with all the trends in the communication space? So, for example, our latest impact report was incredible. It was a highly interactive PDF. Where do you come up with these ideas? Where do you find them?
From young people there. The students that have joined us, they share a lot with me, especially with the latest trends, the apps, and how they see things. But also, I've got a 15-year-old at home who does school homeschooling.
Yes.
And he knows a lot of softwares that I use as a profession, but sometimes I struggle with them, especially the animation. He's such an amazing presenter as well. When I have to do a presentation, I always go to him to ask for advice. And when I do my rehearsals, I do it with him. And he's not afraid that you didn't do that right. Try again,
Yeah, it's awesome to have that second opinion, right? Yeah. Especially when it's completely objective. I think that's very helpful in our communication space. Now, let's get back to the question I asked in the beginning, our playful question. If you could invent a gadget to bring to the office, what would it be and what would it do?
I believe laughter is medicine to everyone. So I'll create an app that will, when you interact with, it's gonna make you laugh, because I believe that if you laugh, you get calm. It takes away the stress.
Yes.
And for us to be more creative and create more solutions, we need to be in a happier space. And there's no other way to do that besides humor. It
definitely is our secret to play, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Spool, for your time today. It's been so awesome to chat to you about something that we are so passionate about every single day. Communications really does feed our soul. So thank you for tuning in. And we'll have a few more podcasts diving deeper into the brand that we're building at Do More, the exciting trends we have up, and maybe we'll even get one of our students on our podcast one day to see how they're doing.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm looking forward for more podcasts as well.
Awesome.
Playtime.